What is going on, you guys? Welcome to the Racy Podcast. This is your host, Cristopher Zamora. Welcome to the show. So today, guys, I wanted to speak to you about the movie called Longlegs. If you have not seen this movie, do me a favor and go see it on theaters. It's a good movie. Lots of people, like the audience, they didn't really like this movie. I think the main reason why people do not like this movie is because I'm guessing it's kind of like a slow burn in a way. It sets up the whole storyline for you, and there are like just a few scary parts in the film. But when those scary parts come up, guys, they're worth it. They actually are, man. The critics actually gave this movie an 86%, and the audience score, as of right now, at this very moment, it is at 64% on Rotten Tomatoes. I have to agree with the critics on this one, guys. I give this movie an 8 out of 10. I gotta say, like, the angles, the cinematography they did on this movie is like very top notch. You don't really get many artistic type of horror films like this. And I like it. It's a intriguing movie. It kind of does remind me of Silence of the Lambs. So look, I'm gonna tell you the storyline if y'all don't know what the movie is about. It says right here, FBI agent Lee Harker is assigned to an unsolved serial killer case that takes an unexpected turn, revealing evidence of the occult. Harker discovers a personal connection to the killer and must stop him before he strikes again. So you do follow a detective this whole time on the movie, and she tries to discover this serial killer. The actor Nicolas Cage, he plays as a serial killer, and his name is Longlegs. What I did not understood about like what Longlegs does is like, I'm guessing he uses like a algorithm to like communicate with people. That part it did kind of confuse me when the lady, the detective, she actually figured out what he was trying to say. There was the one scene when she was in her house all alone, and she figured out what he was trying to say in some markings that he left behind. She's smart. I'm not. So I don't know how she figured it out, but it was cool. And like Nicolas Cage playing as Longlegs, I think is pretty good, man. I seen him come out in a couple of horror movies. His latest one I seen him on was that vampire movie. What was it called? I forget the name. It's a vampire movie where he plays as Dracula. Renfield. There you go. Now I remember. Renfield. That's the movie. He played a good Dracula. The movie was like a comedy horror, but still, it was a great movie. And there was this other movie that he played on. It was almost like a Five Nights at Freddy's, and he was just like a janitor, just working at that job in the middle of the night. He didn't spoke one word in that movie, and he did a good job. He just like his reactions through everything that was going on, I guess it was fine. And like him playing as Longlegs, it was a different person. I saw, man. Like, I've seen Nicolas Cage in a couple of films before, but like I'm guessing this is like one of his best movies that he has made so far. He has had a long career in Hollywood, and I believe that this is one of his best films yet. Longlegs is a very disturbing guy, and Nicolas Cage just plays the character very well. He's the main person that was trying to kill like almost every single girl that has her birthday on the 14th. Like, it was like a pattern that he was doing all along, and the detective, she figured it out. But he wasn't the only one doing this. He actually had an accomplice, and it turns out the mother of the detective, of Lee Harker, she was involved with Longlegs. And the main reason why was because of a demon that was after them, I'm guessing. Longlegs, he was like a satanic cult person. Like he believed in Satan, and now he had an accomplice, the mother. Like he made a doll, right? And that doll, he transferred the evil inside that doll to other little girls. Not only just the little girls, but also the whole family. Like there was a family that they explained in the movie that the father killed everybody because of this freaking doll. Like throughout the movie, you try to figure it out. How was he killing these people? Because supposedly he never really used like any knife to actually physically kill somebody, and that was like the whole purpose of the film. He was just wondering, how was he doing it? Was he using voodoo magic? Was he just psychic? How was he doing this? And yeah, I just gave it to y'all. He was using the doll to give the little girl for her birthday. And that like doll, once like anybody sees it, like the family, then the father or the mom, they go crazy and they just kill one another. And that's the crazy part. And like I'm guessing like the tension in this movie is like very creepy. You don't really get that much music on this film, but like almost like every little thing that just pops up in the film, you feel like very tense and you're afraid. Like if you just hear like a knock, you just be in shock the whole time or something like that. I'm thinking like the my favorite part of the film, it was when Lee Harker, when she was alone in her house, and like she kept on hearing noises and stuff, and she was speaking to her mother. Like the part that I mentioned to you, when she figured out that algorithm that Longlegs left her. Supposedly he actually came inside her house when she was outside. She heard a small noise in the middle of the woods, and she went outside. But then Longlegs came in her house. When she went back in her house, he was already gone. But he left a envelope for her. Now that envelope, it was very important because that envelope, it showed that there was more to it. Like he actually knew who she was. And Lee Harker tried to figure it out throughout the whole film. Why was this guy after me? Because he was after her. It turns out that Longlegs already knew Lee Harker since she was little. Her mom and Longlegs, they knew each other. The mother did not really go out as much, and like the only person that actually went to go visit them was Longlegs. And I'm guessing Lee Harker had like just bad memory when she was young, and she didn't really remember the guy as much. But yeah, like the main reason that I told you that why he stayed, Longlegs, why he stayed around Lee Harker was because of the mom. The mom was actually working with Longlegs to keep on continuing and so the thing that they had to do was, again, make the doll. And that doll, if anybody saw it, then the family will go crazy. They were trying to figure out how they did the murders, and like the doll, it just had a lot of evil in it. You know, the scary part is the doll, they did look like the actual girls themselves, which was the scary part. Supposedly Longlegs was a very accurate doll maker, and he casts like a lot of evil on that doll, and that evil just spread around the family, and that's how he was able to pull off the murders. That was the main thing that they were worried about. And like, I'm guessing like the ending, maybe a lot of people do not like how it ended. Lee Harker was about to shoot the last doll, but then she ran out of bullets. After that, she left the house with the little girl that was left remaining. Like her parents, she actually killed him. The father killed the mom, and the dad got killed by Lee Harker. And yeah, that was about it. That was the ending for that movie. But yeah, this was a very intense movie. And like, Nicolas Cage just played a good villain in this movie overall. I did enjoy it, man. This guy is awesome. I remember seeing him on Ghost Rider. That's my one of my favorite Marvel superheroes. Well, he's an anti-hero, but still one of my favorite characters overall for Marvel. Ghost Rider, and Nicholas played as Ghost Rider on that movie. It was a good one. He played Ghost Rider. He came out in this movie called Next. There's this other one called Face Off, National Treasure. I've seen a couple of films of his, and it's pretty cool that he's actually been doing horror movies lately. He started doing them right after COVID hit. So it's awesome that he's elevating his skills as an actor and just moving on to even more serious roles for horror. Cause I think like in the 90s, I think he used to do like comedy films in a way. Where I grew up on him was him just doing action films. Now that he's older, he started doing horror films, which is pretty unique. He's like elevating his acting skills. So we'll see what he's gonna do next. Renfield was a good movie. I did enjoy it last year, and this is a good one as well. But do I believe that this is the best horror movie of the year? No, I don't think so. Still liked Abigail more than Longlegs, but it's a pretty unique film. You should go see it with a friend. You will have to pay attention because if you get lost in the story, then this film, you probably might think that it's just a waste of time. But nah, man, it's a very enjoyable film. Just give it a try. Just give it a try and see how you like the film. I enjoyed it, and like I said, I do give this movie an 8 out of 10. And now moving on, guys. I would like to speak to you about Lomachenko and Gervonta Davis. It turns out that Lomachenko is not going to fight Gervonta Davis anymore. Yeah, it's very surprising. The news that just came out today on Saturday. Well, if you are listening to this podcast on Tuesday, for you it was like last Saturday. So look, I'm gonna read you the tweet that I found. It says right here, Vasily Lomachenko's manager, Edges Glimas, has indicated that the Gervonta Davis fight may not happen next. He said, Loma is not in the mood right now. He doesn't have the motivation at the moment. He's taken off. He wants to spend more time with the family. He doesn't want to do anything till the end of the year. Just money is not what motivates him. You can offer him tons of millions of dollars. If he doesn't have motivation, he's not ready to prepare for the fight. So yeah, Lomachenko is actually not motivated right now. He's not looking forward to fighting Gervonta Davis, which I'm very surprised, man. I thought like Loma would have wanted the fight. I thought he wouldn't want to actually fight Gervonta Davis once and for all, but that news was very surprising. And there was this other tweet that Michael Benson tweeted out saying that Gervonta Davis versus Vasily Lomachenko talks are now completely off as Loma has decided to take some time away from boxing this year. Potential options for Tank's next fight now includes Shakur Stevenson, William Cepeda, and the Isaac Cruz rematch. That last few words that I read from that tweet, it got me excited, man. The Isaac Cruz rematch is something that I really want to see again. Because that was the very first fight that I saw of Gervonta Davis against Isaac Cruz. Like, lots of people were saying that this guy is pretty good. This guy is unstoppable. But then I saw him fight Isaac Cruz, and I just saw a normal guy. I just saw another guy in the boxing ring. To be honest, I do feel like that first fight, it should have been a draw, but they gave it to Gervonta Davis, and it turns out that Isaac Cruz has been the second person in the world that has lasted 12 rounds with Gervonta Davis. There was another person before, but he has been the most recent one. Like every other person that's been with Gervonta Davis in the ring has been KO'd, has gone to sleep, or they just been put down, like Ryan Garcia. He wasn't put to sleep, but he just didn't get back up, which did suck. But now there's talks that probably he potentially fight Isaac Cruz again. Now that's an intriguing fight, man. I do want to see that, man. I did mention to you last week, if you actually did listen to my last podcast about Gervonta Davis, I did mention that Shakur Stevenson could be one of the guys that can actually beat Gervonta Davis. People think that he is the guy. They think that he is the main guy that can actually take Gervonta Davis out. I did explain it in one more detail on the podcast. So it's actually, it could be a good fight, but Shakur Stevenson, I really don't like how he fights. He's like Mayweather in a way. He mostly plays defense, jabs, and runs away. I do not like that type of fighting. But maybe he could potentially win against Gervonta Davis. We will never know until they actually fight. And William Cepeda, this guy, I really have no idea who he is, but let's see. Let's just check out his record. Because I don't think they would just give out random names. William Cepeda. William Cepeda Segura, that's his name. Oh, wow. He has 31 wins and 0 losses and 0 ties with 27 KOs. Hey, now that's a great record. That is pretty good. That could potentially be a good fight then with Gervonta Davis. I'm guessing, like from the 3 that they mentioned, probably William Cepeda might be the guy that Gervonta Davis might fight. I don't know why he doesn't want to fight Shakur Stevenson yet. I feel like he could take him down just like that, but I don't know why he still doesn't want to fight him. The Isaac Cruz rematch, as of right now, Isaac Cruz is going to fight in a couple of weeks. Well, we will see if he actually defeats the opponent that he's going to face to face. Now, the opponent that Isaac Cruz is going to face, he's no joke. I actually like that guy too. I just know his nickname is Rayo. Rayo, he's a pretty good boxer as well. Like, he had beef with this other boxer. Supposedly, he thought there was a robbery. And it turns out on the second fight, he KO'd that guy. I feel like that fight was kind of rigged in a way. Jose Valenzuela, yeah, that's his name. His nickname is Rayo. He's a good boxer and he has lost twice. Like that second fight that he lost, I feel like it was rigged. It was against Chris Colbert, that's his name. On the second fight they had, he KO'd him on round 6. Yeah, he could not take those punches against Rayo. And I'm looking forward to that fight. It's going to be one hell of a fight between those two. Jose Valenzuela against Isaac Cruz. To be honest, it could potentially go either way. But there could be a knockout. Isaac Cruz has never been knocked down before. Jose Valenzuela has been KO'd. But we will see, man. It could go either way for that one. But if you want to put your money, I'm guessing you should put your money on maybe Isaac Cruz. Isaac Cruz could be the guy that could win that fight. But you know it's going to be a bloodbath because those two, they come forward and They try to get you as much as they can. Those guys, they fight. So it's gonna be a good one. And yeah, that really does suck for Lomachenko. Hopefully, he does come back and maybe he'll fight again very soon. It is very disappointing because I didn't want to see Lomachenko against Gervonta Davis. Like they were planning it to be this November, but things did not work out. I'm guessing, yeah, because Lomachenko just wants time off and he wants to spend time with his family, which I do understand. The boxing game is very tough and all that training you gotta do and keep with the diet and try to make weight and stuff. I think it can be very difficult for a boxer. Yeah. Hopefully next year they will actually fight each other. But I really have no idea what's going to happen next for Lomachenko. For Gervonta Davis, yeah, I'm guessing he is probably going to choose William Zepeda if they actually are going with those three options that I mentioned, with Shakur Stevenson, with William Zepeda, or Isaac Cruz rematch. I'm guessing William Zepeda is going to be the guy to face him next. And yeah, guys, that is it for this podcast. Hey, thank you so much for listening. If you guys did made it this far, make sure to subscribe to the channel or follow this podcast on whichever platform you are listening to it. If you are listening to it on Spotify, YouTube, Pandora, make sure to actually follow it. And also recommend this podcast to a friend or a neighbor that actually likes listening to stuff about horror stuff and combat sports. Maybe they will enjoy this podcast as much as you do. And yeah, guys, that is it for this podcast. Again, thank you so much for listening. Take care and live to the fullest. Bye.